The 2025 Miami Dolphins are right on the edge of something. Maybe it's greatness. Maybe it's chaos. Maybe both. It doesn't matter how you frame it. The sense is the same. Something's got to give. You feel it when you look at the roster. There's tension in the air, between past glory and future uncertainty, between contracts and chemistry, between stars aging and rookies rising. You can't talk about the Dolphins right now without feeling like every name on the depth chart is also a storyline just waiting to break open. Tyreek Hill. He's still here. But for how long? The guy doesn't have to worry about 2025 when it comes to contracts. But 2026 is already casting a long shadow. $36 million in cash, with a third of that locking in next March if Miami doesn't blink. If you're sitting in the Dolphins front office, do you dare sign up for another ride on the Tyreek Express, with the baggage and brilliance it brings? Because let's be honest, Hill's no longer the guaranteed game wrecker he was in 2023. The flashes are still there, sure, but flashes don't justify $36 million. Not when he turns 32 next spring. Not when Waddle could step into a bigger spotlight. Not when you've got younger, cheaper, quieter weapons knocking on the door. There's a very real world where Miami decides to slam that door shut before the guarantees kick in. Save the cash. Save the cap. Move on. Would it sting? Of course. But maybe that's the move. Then there's Jonnu Smith. Not the flashiest name, but the man redefined what tight end production looked like for this team last year. Dominated. Rewrote the books. And now, he wants to get paid for it. Skip minicamp to prove he's serious. But the breakthrough? It hasn't come. Not yet. And now, with 2025 heating up and McDaniel's seat getting warmer, the questions start to pile up. Does Smith still make sense in the long term if the coaching staff turns over? He fits McDaniel's scheme like a glove, no doubt. But take the glove away, what's left? Miami might be hesitant to lock in big money to a system player if the system's about to change. So maybe this is it. Maybe Jonnu is playing for his future, and maybe that future isn't in Miami. Crazy thought, considering how vital he was a year ago. But this league moves fast. Speaking of fast, Jalen Phillips was supposed to be the next big thing off the edge. A nightmare for quarterbacks. But injuries? Brutal. Unfair. 1 year it's the Achilles. The next it's the ACL. Back-to-back setbacks, right when he should have been peaking. Now he's stuck playing on the final year of his rookie deal, with a label nobody wants, injury-prone. That's not just a footnote. It's a full-on paragraph in his bio. If he balls out this year, and that's a big if, he could cash in huge. Someone's going to want him. But who? And would Miami jump the gun? Secure him before he hits the open market? Or let him walk, unwilling to risk it again? This season is it for him. Show up, stay on the field, dominate, or become another what-if. Then there's Bradley Chubb. Another edge guy, another walking question mark. Once a Pro Bowl terror. Then came the injury. Knee blown up in Week 17 of 2023. Missed all of last season, and only stuck around this year because he agreed to take less money. The team was ready to let him go. He blinked first. Now he's 29, looking down the barrel of a $20 million payday in 2026 with no guarantees past this year. You know what that means. Produce now or hit the street. But here's where it gets messy. What if Phillips gets healthy and plays out of his mind? What if Chop Robinson, this year's first-round pick, takes the leap early? There might not be room for all three. And when it comes down to cost, age, and health, Chubb could be the odd man out, even if he flashes again. This league isn't sentimental. And while we're talking about sentiment, think about Kader Kohou. Here's a guy who wasn't even drafted, earned his way into relevance, signed a restricted tender to stay in Miami. Now he's got a shot, maybe the shot, with all the smoke around Jalen Ramsey possibly being done here. Kohou might end up being the top corner on the roster. Wild, right? But it's all in front of him. He could thrive in a familiar scheme, take the leap, become that next big find. Or he could hit his ceiling and show he's really just a solid nickel guy. Nothing wrong with that, but teams don't break the bank for slot corners. And if that's all he is, Miami might let him test the market and never look back. High ceiling, high stakes. The bigger picture? This team isn't just evolving. It's transforming. Quietly, painfully, piece by piece. It's what happens when you push all in for a window that never fully opened. Now the bill's coming due. Miami's walking a tightrope. Stars with giant salaries, promising youngsters needing snaps. A cap situation that doesn't allow for many mistakes. And no guarantees anywhere. Who gets extended? Who gets cut? Who becomes the next scapegoat for a season that doesn't meet expectations? This team's identity is shifting, and you can feel it in every decision.